You're listening to RIAcast, a podcast of the Southwest Florida Real Estate Investment Association. RIAcast brings together a variety of real estate entrepreneurs from all over the world to share tips and ideas. The core purpose of the Southwest Florida RIA is to help members become more profitable and successful through networking, education, and empowerment. Here are your hosts, Jeff Tamarello and Michael Lyons.
Now, what have you guys been doing differently with the pandemic? What shifted, or did you have to do any pivots, anything like that?
Yeah, and that's a really good question. So, a couple different things that we changed going into COVID, which I think has really just been a benefit for us, is we increased communication between ourselves and our residents. We just listened, I guess, maybe a little bit better. Somebody said that they were really struggling due to a COVID-tied situation. We try and work with them a little bit more. We have a pretty strict no pay, no stay policy. So up to that point, we really don't communicate a whole lot in general. If somebody says they can't pay, we'll point them in directions of assistance and things like that. But we have to be fair across all residents and just put everybody through the same system. But we did increase communication quite a bit, trying to find out where, people were struggling and try and point them in the right direction for payment assistance. We also increased our communication with our partners quite a bit and internally to make sure that everybody was in the loop on exactly what was happening, especially, March, April. We really didn't know what was going to happen the next month for, the first of the month. And so we, instead of giving updates on performance in our monthly reports, we were doing it like around the 10th again, just giving everybody an update on where we sat. And so communication increased a lot. We also implemented some systems, and I mentioned this last night, that there's nothing really good that's come from COVID. I mean, it's not a good situation in general, but if I have to find that silver lining, I would say that it really got us to focus on internal operations and our systems that we have in place. And excuse me, hang on one second. Somebody is calling and I don't know how to turn that off on my computer. But it got us to look at our systems and see where maybe we were flawed or where we could improve. And one area, just anticipating an increase in evictions, we went and looked at our eviction process, and we cut out some steps to get the managers communicating directly with the attorneys, and kind of took the corporate office out of the equation so that we could get things processed more efficiently. Just documented a lot of procedures to help us so that if things do get a little bit worse in the near future, we're just a better oiled machine, a well-run machine. And then last, liquidity. So we increased liquidity at all of our communities. We took what we had for minimum balances that we needed to maintain in all of our operating accounts and step those up a little bit to make sure that we had ample reserves to make just in case we needed it. So what we did, kind of that first, that was March, that everything went on lockdown. So we were getting ready to do distributions from first quarter, and just held off briefly to see how things were looking towards the end of the month, and then set those new marks on reserves and then distributed accordingly. So we've also increased our liquidity just as a company and kept some dry powder because we're anticipating some pretty awesome acquisition opportunities maybe towards the end of the year. So we've really stacked up some cash and getting ready to buy.
Yeah, we're seeing internally, I'm just seeing a lot of, particularly the older generation, this affected the most. Yeah. And a lot of them are just ready to be done, retire, transition out. That's more the opportunity I'm seeing in so many sectors that, that's just, you've got the baby boomer generation is kind of like, you know what, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to chill out.
Yeah, they're ready to move to Florida.
Yeah, they are. I mean, sales are through the roof.
This concludes this edition of RIAcast. Be sure to subscribe to receive our next episode. You can also subscribe at our website, www.swflreia.com. See you at a meeting soon. Please let us know if you have a suggestion for a future episode.